Now it's time for the Pizza Head Show. Hey, everybody!
Hello my bunnies, it's Ticky's Trinkets here, and today I have for y'all another drawing tutorial. This is a continuation of the chicken nugget drawing tutorial that I did. I've already finished drawing up all 6 of the designs I went with. I changed the Arby's glove to the Steve pizza cutter from the Pizza Head commercials from back in the 90s. If you're not sure what it is, go ahead and just go look that up because it's really interesting. But I've restarted this video several times, so I feel all over the place, but hopefully this will be well organized. In this part of the video, we are going to be duplicating these items and then creating the outlines for each of them. Right now I have everything in separate folders here. The background is turned off because I still have that as the background, so we're just going to keep that invisible. That way it's easy to work with. And then I got each item in separate folders. Make sure you keep your stuff in separate folders to stay organized. And save everything as much as possible, which I have as well. So we're going to start with the one we're on first, which is the chicken nugget. Which I see there is a smudge somewhere. Where is the smudge? I have no idea. Is it that above him? I bet when I try to erase this, it's not going to work. Oh, geez, we don't want it that big. Anyways, I can't figure out how to erase that smudge, even though it says this on this layer. It's not erasing, so we're just going to leave that smudge there. It is fine. So we are on the nugget layer, so what we want to do is we want to make copies of this before we do the outlines of each one. And I'm going to have each one on the sheet multiple times, so when I print them, I can make them into stickers very easily, just as I did with these right here, the blue bows. You see I have 3 in each row, and then each column, there's 3 columns. So that's the same format we're going to go by, so nothing is like hanging out. Same thing with these, you can see the same format, 3 in each column, 3 in each row. But since there's more designs on this, I'm going to do 3 and then 3. We're just going to have to alternate. So we're going to start with getting our selector tool right here. Well, selector, move, whatever you want to talk about it, whatever you want to call it. Okay, and we can see that it's just selecting the chicken nugget, so that's all we want. So now we're just going to Control C and Control V, and that should make a copy. We can see 2 chicken nuggets now, and bam. Perfect. I don't know why the outline is so big for this. Why is it so big? I don't know why it's doing it like that, but okay. As long as it'll let us do the way we want. So we're going to do 3 chicken nuggets, and we're going to Control V again to make another copy. There we go. So 1, 2, we're on this layer now. We need to go back to the original layer. So we can grab that. 3, although I feel like we could do a little extra of this one. So we don't want to put it too close to the edge, because when you print it on your paper, if you don't leave any room, then it won't actually let you, well, it'll let you print it, but something's going to be cropped off is the main problem. Okay, so there we go. Try to keep them about at the same height. I keep thinking I'm on the second one. Move that up. Okay, so which one am I on now? That one. That's the second. There's probably an easier way to go about doing this instead of just eyeballing it, but you know I choose the hard way in life apparently. There we go. Looks good. So now we're going to go up to the very top layer here, which should be this one. Although actually I want to copy this one again, so Control V once more. There we go. back to the first one, move it over a little, give these chicken nuggets some room to breathe here. There we go. Wonder if I can just use the arrow keys. No. Okay, so that looks good. They all look to be about the same height and the same distance from the border of the page as such. There we go. So now we got a whole row of chicken nuggets, so now we're going to focus on the next one, which is the pizza. So we're going to control, make sure it's just pizza by himself, which it is. Put him far left, Control C and Control V. We have to click C, so we're copying the pizza, not the nugget again. There we go. Line him up nice and neatly. I'm just going to real quick go to the Happy Meal layer and move him down. Same thing with everything else. We're just going to, I'll leave the dog there. Steve's going to come down. And as you can see, I'm going to have an issue with not having enough room for everything, because there's 6 designs. So I'm going to have to get creative. We're going to see. Okay, for now, let's go back to pizza layer 2. Control C, Control V. There we go, third pizza. Control V. And fourth pizza. There we go. Okay, now I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do this to make this nice and neat. See, the first time I did this, I did the freebie sticker on the second page, so, you know, I don't know what to do with him. What are we going to do with this dude? We're going to have an uneven number, that's what we're going to do. Maybe I should do this differently. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, that gives me more on the rows rather than the column, so I guess that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. So next we will do, I guess, 2 Chihuahuas and 2 Happy Meals. I guess. Sounds good to me. Just gonna zoom in, making sure they're not touching each other. Nope. Okay, so we're gonna Control C, Control V. Copy. There we go. And then now on to the Happy Meal layer. Control C, Control V. There we go. Looking good, looking good. Gorgeous. There we go. And now up to the Steve layer. Control C, Control V. We have to do this before the outline. I actually did the outline first, recorded all of that. Felt so proud of myself, and then I realized I couldn't make copies of the stuff once I saved it as a PNG file. So I realized I had messed up. So yay! We love doing that over and over. Control C, Control V. This is probably like this 15th time, 14th or 15th time I started recording this video. So yeah, it's been loads of fun. There we go. Maybe what I can do is I can just move this over ever so slightly for each one. Make a little more room for another Happy Meal. That's what I'm going to attempt here. Because I don't need a ton of room in between them, just enough room to be able to cut and leave room for the outline, so this should be fine. There we go. And now we want to go back to the Happy Meal layer. Control C, Control B, so we can copy it again. There we go. Now we got a third Happy Meal there. So now I have 4 chicken nuggets, 4 pizza heads, 4 big old messes because I don't know what I'm doing. Grab the ham first. There we go. 4 nuggets, 4 pizzas, 3 Happy Meals, 2 dogs, 4 Steves, and we're either going to get 3 or 4 of the crowns as well. So now we're on the crown layer. Just going to slide that over just a little bit, make room. Again, not too much, or we won't have room to print. Or room for the outline that we're going to make later. There we go. Not really enough room for anything else. I guess I could have put a Steve in this layer here. There we go. Trying to make sure that this won't get cropped out. That's going to have to do. And now I'm going to make one more chihuahua. Control C, Control V. And I'm going to move the Steves down ever so slightly one more time. Just a hair. There we go. Just so things aren't too crowded. I now know from now on to leave the other stuff, like the freebie stickers, on a whole nother sheet by themselves. Lesson learned. So I don't have to deal with this crowding anymore. Back to the dog layer. This should be the last one. Yep. Happy Meal. Okay, that's looking great. As good as it's gonna get, I guess. Hopefully nothing will be cut out. That's all I gotta say. Okay, so now that we have all the items we needed duplicated to make our stickers, to make a sticker set, because that's the point of this, is being able to make a sticker set. What I want to do now is create outlines for each of these items. So I'm going to leave each of them in their own designated folders for now. Before I do that, I'm going to save this. File save as. I don't want to delete the ones I have there, so we're going to put fast food stickers, work in progress, with no outline, separate folders. And I'm going to save it as a Krita file so I can edit that later if I need to, if I mess anything up, which I'm bound to. And now I want to create the outlines, and I'm going to use the video that I followed on YouTube to create the outlines. I'm going to do black outlines, but you can do whatever you'd like. I'm just choosing to do black. I think it looks nice, but you could do colored outlines, white. She does white in her video. I'll link that video down below, but you can do whatever you want. First, you're going to start by selecting the magic wand tool, seeing what layer you're on, because each one's in a separate layer. These nuggets are all out of order. What layer am I on now? My goodness. I'd like these layers to be in order. It shows you right here. If you hover over the eye, it tells you which one you're on as well. Give me a minute. Deselect. So we're going to take this, move it all the way down here. Okay, I'm not fighting with it. I'm just going to do them one by one. Deselect. If I'm not sure which one I'm on, it just selects the whole thing, and you don't want to select the whole page at once, because if you do that, I found out it's going to create an outline in places you definitely don't want an outline. Alright, so to create the outline, nice and pretty and easy so you don't have to draw it, we have it selected with the magic wand tool. Then we're going to go to select, We're going to go to Grow Selection and select what size pixels you want to grow it by. I choose 5 for a very thin outline. And as you can see now, we have a very thin outline around it. But we want to make this the outline colored, obviously. So now what we're going to do, gosh, I'm having a brain fart. I think we actually need to save this first as a PNG. I think that's what I'm doing wrong. So I'm going to deselect. That might not be right though, but I'm going to go ahead and save it as a PNG. Fast food stickers, work in progress, no outline, separate folders. PNG, save. Okay. So let me try to exit there. Didn't mean for that to abruptly cut off, but yes, that's what I needed to do. I just left everything in separate folders, as you can see right here. That's still no outline, separate folders. I left that as a Krita file to edit it. I kept an original Krita file with each one individual in separate folders. That way I can edit that if I need to. And then I saved a copy as a PNG of the work I was doing right then. Now I can take the magic wand tool and select each item as a PNG file. So this is what we need. So what I did was I opened a brand new Krita file, just as is with the pixels that they choose. And I just went on ahead and opened this PNG, and I copied this layer to make 2 layers so they're exactly the same. We're going to go down to the bottom one and deselect this one so we can't see it at the moment. And we're going to go to each individual item like such and do exactly what I said a minute ago. Select it with the magic wand, click select, grow selection by the pixel size you want, then go to brush. Make sure you're on the brush that you want. I use the ink because it's very, what's the word I'm looking for, rich in color. Grow the pen as big as you want. It's probably easiest just to do it like really big. Zoom in where we can actually see. There we go. And make sure you're on the color you want. I am on black. And then we're going to color it. As you can see, I'm using a mouse so it doesn't quite color it all in one go, so I kind of have to really be thorough with it. But once you do that, and you click this back on, you should be able to see an outline, just like that. So that part's actually pretty easy compared to the rest of it. It's just remembering to do things in the right order. I'm going to do a few more just for example. And then that's all you need to know. Then after that, I will save this file as a separate PNG. And you can just go ahead and print it and make them into stickers on whatever paper and everything you choose. I'm on the magic wand tool. And here's something. If you click an item and it's very oblong shape, it might not select all of it as an item. There are custom tools, but I'm not going to sit here and freehand this or circular cut this. I'm just going to select each part and grow each part individually for the pixel size. Like, for example, let's do this one. There we go. Back to the pen. There we go. Nice and thorough. And then you would do the same thing again. Make sure you're on the wand tool. Click that. Grow it again. And then I'll show you that the whole thing will be continuously the same size and nice and pretty. And have an outline. If I can get my mouse to not hit my laptop. There we go. Ta-da! And it has an outline. But the same thing goes for any oblong shaped item. Pizza Head is not going to look as pretty as the others because I noticed the first few times recording he registers as very weird when it comes to his shape. So unfortunately he's not going to look as pretty, but I'm going to make him look the best that I can. It's because I use the airbrush tool, so if you use the airbrush tool, it's going to recognize some of this extra space as items that need to be outlined. But let me do one just for example. Try to click it to where it'll give me the least amount. See, because if I try to select the outside, you see it selected everything. We don't want that. But I also don't want it to create an outline of random places like that. there's a certain way you have to click it. There we go. See how it's got mostly just the outline selected except for that little bit right there. So we're just going to select, grow selection. I actually have to do his a lot thicker too. I found that out from the first recordings. So let's probably do about a 9 because it's the only way his outline will actually show up. Get the pen, same color, and just do. And again, with using a mouse instead of the actual drawing pen, you might have to do several layers here. Okay, let's go back to the 1. And then we're going to do the crust the same amount. That's as good as you can click the crust because of the oblong shape. Select, grow, try to do about the same, a 9. There we go. Have the outline. Because if I did like a 4 or 5, it just didn't barely show up at all. The crest is really hard on these to color. Okay, so that's as good as we're getting. So I'm just going to deselect. There we go. And for the reveal. Bam! As you can see, it's not nowhere near perfect like the Happy Meal or the chicken nugget. But it is as good as it's going to get. If I do the pixels any thicker, it's going to look a whole lot thicker than the outline on the other 2, or, well, should I say the other 5. And it still won't show up in some places because of the cheese, but now I know for next time to try to keep the shape as symmetrical as possible. Just do the cheese on the inside of the shape, maybe curved, because this little parts on the inside don't really affect the item. See this? Because it recognizes it as one shape. Doesn't matter what the shapes on the inside look like. So it's a learning thing. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this tutorial. All you have to do is what I've shown you. Draw up what you want, keep it in separate files on Krita. Keep an editable file for both. Draw the original designs, or design if you want to just do one sticker, that's fine too. And save that as an editable Krita file. Then once you got that, take it, reopen it, and make copies of everything using Control-C and Control-V, making sure you're in the right layer on each time. Move them in a line for however many you want to make. Then save that again as an editable Krita file, Then save it as a PNG. Reopen the PNG. And then again, follow the tutorial I showed you with the wand. Select, grow selection, however big you want, using whatever outline color you want. And then just color that bad boy. Make sure it's nice and thorough. This is just to make sure the outline doesn't have any spotty moments. And then, ta-da, outlines. But I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I know it was all over the place, but again, I've recorded this several times. And I'm tired of recording, and this video is about 30 minutes long now, so I think that's more than enough. Thank you guys so much for watching. These stickers will be available for sale very soon as I finish making them. Let me just deselect so that's not running the whole time. And once they're listed for sale, I'll announce it on my Instagram page and on Twitter, so follow me there for more updates. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, even though it was a very bad tutorial. It was the best I could do. Don't forget to look at the girls' video down below for more references and for more ideas and things you can do. Thank you guys so much for watching. Love you very much. Bye-bye, my bunnies.